Pennsylvania's early intervention system is designed to create opportunities for our youngest children with disabilities to benefit from high-quality supports and services. It is early intervention's approach that enhances the family's capacity to meet the developmental needs of their child and to do this in settings where children would be if they did not have a disability. We believe we can do this through approaches that unify and recognize the important contributions of families, policymakers, programs, and leaders. Early intervention embeds supports and services within learning opportunities that exist in the child's typical routines within the home, community, and/or early childhood setting. Research shows that when we embrace children at a young age in all aspects of community life, we are helping children reach their potential and helping families fulfill their dreams and expectations for their children.
Early intervention, I would say, for my family, has been a phenomenal experience. And I'll tell you my story. My little one, who is the youngest of 4, who had some major medical issues when she was born, but rallied and did very well. Her disability was minute to me because we had to overcome such medical issues when she was born. The issue of getting resources and assistance for the family was just a natural next step to help her to be as the best she could be. So we started to do research, and immediately early intervention and technical assistance came in and provided us with a lot of resources and a lot of support from the beginning. So that was a great first step, first of all, just to alleviate the fact that that was my priority. I didn't have some issues maybe some other parents had in terms of dealing with a disability, because I just needed information and I was ready to take off from the beginning. So early intervention was a great support for that. To have therapists who came into the home was ideal. It was incredible to have the stuffed animals and the blankets and the things that she was familiar with right there with her as she was struggling to roll over and struggling to do some of the things that children did much sooner than she did. But what was also nice is our conversation with the therapists. They became family. They became people that we would confide in and people who would easily come and tell us openly some things that we needed to do. And so we really worked as a wonderful partnership. And as my child branched out into childcare, which was natural again for my family, because again, being the youngest of 4, everyone went through childcare. She obviously was going to the same childcare as they did, totally in an environment that was loving for my family. I call them my second family as well. And it was just an obvious and natural transition. To have the therapist, again, go there and provide services for her, to have the speech and the OT and the physical therapy. The nice thing was that the therapist became sort of part of the child care family, because they would do things in class right there with the children. The children knew them. So the day when I walked in to, I think it was a therapy session actually, and I walked in maybe 20 minutes after the therapist, because I would come on lunch breaks, and again, the schedule matched my schedule, so I could always be there for a session. And I walked in, and my child walked down the hall where everyone had came out of their classrooms to see this event, because everyone celebrated it in the Child Care Center, and it was just a remarkable experience, and everyone celebrated all her accomplishments as she moved forward.
In Pennsylvania, early intervention provides the supports and services to infants, toddlers, and preschool-age children so that they can grow and develop. Starting with the family's entry into early intervention, personnel use strategies to engage and involve all caregivers. Early intervention supports the family and child's transition between and among early education programs.
Early intervention supports and services are embedded with the learning opportunities that exist in a child's everyday routines, be they at home, in the community, or in an early education program. As an occupational therapist, my role was to work with the family and/or the early education staff to develop strategies that could be used during their everyday activities and routines. Developing strategies together empowers the caregiver to try it in other activities, thereby providing the child with multiple opportunities to practice and generalize the skill. The goal of the support and services is to enhance the child's ability to participate in family life and in the community.
As Kirk Kondrich, a parent of a young child, stated, early intervention provides supports so that children can participate in childcare, preschool, and community activities. Early intervention has as our highest priority that all young children with disabilities are afforded the opportunities to participate and succeed in the same activities and environments as their same-aged peers.
My daughter Chloe was born in 2003, May of 2003, and at the time I was a city police officer. I was in my 20th year as a police officer, a career I loved dearly. When Chloe came into this world, we were soon notified that she had Down syndrome. And it was quite a shock just to receive a notification like that, just not knowing. I think fear was my greatest feeling at the time, uncertainty, not knowing where we're going to go. And so when I held my daughter for the first time, she's the most beautiful girl I've ever laid eyes on. But she looked at me with those blue eyes, and I just knew things were going to change. So shortly after we left the hospital with Chloe, we were introduced to this program called Early Intervention, and it's had such an impact on my life and my family's life that I actually changed careers because of this, and I currently work in the field of early intervention, and I'm the chairman of the Governor's Advisory Council, State ICC for Early Intervention in Pennsylvania, because I saw that investing in these kids and laying down a firm foundation of supports at an early age, incredible things can happen. My daughter Chloe is 6 right now, and I'm proud to say that she recently started first grade in her neighborhood school with her backpack, with her typical peers. The biggest problem with Chloe at school really is getting her to come home at the end of the day because she likes it so much up there. Chloe received, we accessed early intervention relatively early because my wife and I just wanted to get the best possible start for Chloe, and like I said, I consider early intervention a priceless investment. It's a small amount, really, when you consider the long-term returns on this investment. And I actually champion this, and I make frequent visits to the capitals and to legislators to let them know that if you want to invest in something that is always going to yield a positive return, early intervention needs to be the top thing in your portfolio. So Chloe received early intervention, received our home services. It was amazing to watch this little child. Another point I'd like to bring up, it's interesting, Chloe, I was born in 1963. Chloe was born in 2003. If Chloe had been born in 1963, there was no early intervention, there was no early childhood services, there was no inclusion. Chloe would have probably been sent to an institution, deemed uneducable, and probably wouldn't have lived a very long life at all. Like I said, right now, Chloe, because of this foundation, is a thriving member of not just our family and our church, our home, our community.
An inspired leader, such as Nancy from the Lancaster Daycare Center, says it best when she says that including children with disabilities is a win-win for all children and families. When we provide an environment where all children feel welcomed and all children are accepted and encouraged, we feel good about our success.
Inclusion has really helped the staff at Lancaster Daycare Center. They're more comfortable with assessments. They're more comfortable talking with professionals. They are more comfortable talking with parents about problems that they see arise in the children that they serve. At Lancaster Daycare Center, it's a win-win situation also for the children, because the children look past a child's special needs and they just see their friend. And what we do here at Lancaster Daycare Center, if you think about it, is really all of our children have special needs. For some, it might be English as a second language. So all of our children have some special needs, and it's just a matter of saying, we never say, can we take care of this child or can we teach this child? We always talk about how we can do it. And this kind of inclusion is good for the whole community. So at Lancaster Daycare Center, we're very diverse, and you've seen what we are. So there's no way we could not include children with special needs.
Early intervention helps everyone in a child's life learn to support the development of skills that will help the child for a lifetime.